Howdy, folks. I am Rebecca Jolly, the Jolly Alchemist, and today we will be doing a neutrino forecast. It's for the 31st of July. That's a Thursday, 2025. So we have moved from 33 and 19 lines 1, and of course we are still in a little bit of this overlap phase where through the beginning of the day we'll still be feeling the first line, but moving into the second line today. And the second line of 33 and 19 are surrender, the prudence to surrender to superior forces, and service, making personal resources available for use. So that's an aspect of retreat, surrender, and an aspect of awareness of the needs of the community to service and make resources available. So the needs of the community is a lot about having enough food to eat, having shelter, having your basic human needs met, and recognizing that every human has needs and those are important. They all need to be met. So that is our daily mission, or our thing, really to focus on thinking about today. Let's see, our moon energy starts at 32.5, and that is flexibility. 32 is the gate of continuity, so that's right here, coming down from the spleen. That's the ability to stay stable through changes. In order to have success. This is the channel of success, with ambition being on the other side. So that is flexible adaptation to changed circumstances, and that has an up arrow on it, which is the instinct to effortlessly adapt to existing circumstances in times of change. Again, our moon energy is shifting very, very fast, so it's not the kind of thing you're going to be feeling inside of you, most likely, unless you're a reflector, or as 64 Keys calls it, an observer. But it's good to know that these energies are moving through the world, moving through our bodies, and this is something that if you're that sensitive, you might actually be able to feel that. After it's done with the 32, the moon will go through 50, which is about values. That's happening right here from the spleen, and 28, which is about the ability and the desire to take risks. So risk-taking will be supported at the end of the day. Be careful with that. All right. Our retrograde Mercury energy has gone to 33.3, spirit, maintaining the spirit and retreat. And that's interesting because we have both our mission, our sun for today in 33, but it's 33.2. So tomorrow we'll have the 33. And now we have the 33 in our Mercury. So we're definitely in retreat. It's, time to be staying home, thinking about things, processing the past, thinking about what lessons we've learned. How can we do things different? How can we meet the needs of the community? That 24th gate that's supporting this is all thinking over and over again in order to come to some sort of understanding, some sort of ability to change ourselves on the inside. And that leads to the song for today, which is Changes by Langhorne Slim, Langhorne. Very, I'm going through changes. I don't know what it's going to mean, but things are definitely happening on the inside. And so, that's today's song. Our Venus energy is in 15. Now, we moved through 2 through the course of yesterday, so I thought I'd just give it to you because there's a bit of it left today as well. That's influence. Modesty leads to enduring standards, and then it'll be into 15.3, which is ego inflation, to abandon modesty in case of success. So it's a thing to be aware of. This is in our people energies, which means this is an energy we're going to feel more in the people that come to us today and that we have interactions with, then we're going to be feeling it exactly ourselves in our bodies. Although you might. It just depends on how sensitive you are, how well you know yourself, and the energies running through yourself. Our Mars moves into 6.4, triumph, to amicably unfold natural and dominant power. So again, that's the 6th gate here all about interpersonal conflicts and diplomacy, figuring out what's going on with problems between people. We have global shifts today, a couple of them, very interesting. So our 39.2 in Jupiter, our luck place, has moved to 39.3. So the whole world is moving up in this feeling of, oh, provocation, things are getting a little sticky, people are poking wounds and being in uncomfortable situations. 39.3 is responsibility, to make a sacrifice out of responsibility, and for now it has an up arrow on it, which is the great benefactor who recognizes the larger framework and provokes through self-sacrifice. So this provocation is not just to give somebody a hard time or make them feel bad. The purpose of provocation, and it's this side of the provocation saddle coming out of the root, so it's a pressure to provoke others, and in this case it's in order to be able to see the quality of their spirit, in order to eventually be able to inspire them to feel something, to make changes. So again, we're swinging back into this. It's all about, this is the time for making changes, for growing up, for being provoked, because when we're provoked, that's when we start to grow. We feel uncomfortable, something needs to shift, we begin to shift it. Our 25.5, which has been holding in Neptune for a long time, has shifted down because it's in retrograde into 25.4, which is the same thing our Saturn currently in retrograde is holding. So 2 of our global energies right now are in 25.4. If you've been watching my transits, you may know that 25.4 is about maintaining the nature of natural innocence. So we're really talking true innocence. And this is the innocence that comes out of loving everything, not just all humanity, which is happening here in 15, but everything in the whole entire world. Rocks, trees, animals, plants, people, everybody, everything, and innocently loving them. 25.4, another interesting metaphor for this is the rose in the garbage dump, to be able to see something beautiful and natural and healing and everything. So again, we are supported here in the work of healing, growing up, becoming love. We have this healing coming into us in 2 different planets at the same time, the same gate, the same line, and the message is, it's time to start healing ourselves, bringing ourselves together, and becoming one as a planet. How nice. An interesting thing, our Chiron has also gone into retrograde. Very interesting. So we will be feeling this 3-1 energy for a while. And because that's the case, let me give you what that is again. That is the inability to know that order will emerge and the temptation after setbacks to seek knowledge elsewhere. So the Chiron is all about a place where we feel weakness, but if we study and learn about it, we can become strong. So it means that there's an energy in the world of, while we're going through this crisis, we're being provoked, we're needing to make changes, we're needing to heal ourselves. We're doing that while having a feeling of, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if there's going to be anything. I think I just need to do something else, go somewhere else, have something else, be something else. And if you know that, then you can, when you feel that, just say, okay, it's what I'm feeling. It's a phase I'm going through. The whole world is going through it, whether they're aware of it or not. And we will get through it and move to another phase. But for right now, that's what we need to be feeling, because that's the energy that's building and building and building, so that the people who are resisting change can eventually succumb, whether it's through crisis or just looking at ourselves and examining and having insight into what it is to grow and change and examine and overcome the places where we're stuck. So some of us change more easily than others. I know that nobody likes to change. I don't either, but I'm one of those people that has it in my chart for when the it's not about when the time to change comes. I don't know exactly where it is. I'll have to look it up again. But it's about being able to focus internally, do an internal cleansing, and through that complete cleansing, be able to change and move on. And I wonder if that's part of what's made it possible for me to escape the cult where I grew up. And it's not so much of an escape thing as it is being able to walk away from everything and everyone, including my family, my friends, all my support systems, into the complete wild and unknown with 2 little children, and face the world alone when it was a sick and broken community. But at least before I had a community, now I had nothing. And that took, well, in retrospect, a lot of bravery and a lot of energy, a lot of power that at the time I was too young and dumb to know that I had, or, I didn't know what I was doing. I was having a very hard time, and definitely going through the first of times when I considered ending it. But somehow I made it, and I think that's also largely because I have this activation here, which I didn't know about it then. I just knew when it came down to the moment I couldn't do it, of power to intuition. And that's all about the pure power and energy of survival, which I have on both sides of my chart. So if you're a survivor as well in your chart, that means that you must have needed it to get through some difficult times in your life. And I've definitely been through difficult times. So, I mean, we all have all we can take, right? So it's a burden, but I've definitely learned through my difficult times tips and tricks and keys and information, self-knowledge and power with which I can help others to change and grow up and escape difficult situations and come into their own power. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So until tomorrow's transit, take care of yourselves and see you later. Bye.